What were the hardest moments during your career? You know, not the hardest fights, but like the hardest parts that were that where you were like really struggling to get to the ring, I guess. You know what I mean? Because from my own personal experience, like there's a lot of ups and a lot of downs with just trying to get to a fight.
Yeah, the hardest part was money, just being poor. Muay Thai back in the day, you $1,000, $1,500, and because I'd come back from Thailand back to Australia, I just wanted to train twice a day, full time. So my sponsors were lucky to help me with the gym, and they said, okay, as long as you cover the rent, whatever's left over, you can keep. So for the first 5 years, I built the gym from nothing. And then I was living off the gym, whatever, after all the bills were paid. But I was sleeping in the cupboard of the gym, pretty much. Had a mattress in the cupboard, so I sat there for a few months, and just slowly build up, and just being poor. I've been poor forever, and I'm so used to being poor. But now, eventually, the last few years has been really better since about 2004 when I started fighting for K1. From that moment on, my prize money's gone up and up and up. But but it makes you more hungry. Being poor makes you hungry, makes you humble. So it makes you appreciate when you finally do get there that I've worked so hard for this, and I finally got there. And anyone that comes and say hello, I'm not going to turn away because I appreciate you following me because it's been a rough journey. So I always take the time to shake people's hands and chat for 10 minutes, or just for thanking them for coming along with me and sharing all the experiences.
No, I get that. I get that a lot. No, it's thanks for sharing that.
Just want to say thank you so much, mate, for your time and I know we've been talking for more than an hour. I just really appreciate you being on with us here. So we're wrapping it up. Where can people find you? How can people follow you? What's your Instagram, your Twitter, and all of that?
Instagram. So just join Wayne Parr. My Instagram is funny. I try and be funny. I try very hard. If you like the bottom of the barrel, I'm about there. So it's either fight. Yeah. So fight content or really bad humor or just family stuff. So and got the Twitter, everything's just John Wayne. So John Wayne Parr. Lots of R's on the end.
All
Yeah.
right. Nah, awesome.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. This is so cool. I can't believe we're chatting.
Thank you.
And then having our relationship. I remember Rob just at the gym, and all of a sudden you're a super duper star now. It's so crazy to see, because you're like me. I went to Thailand and sacrificed, and you went to Montreal and you sacrificed. So I can appreciate everything that you've done because you've stepped out of your comfort zone just as much as I have, and then you've reached the pinnacle. You've reached the very, very top. And how many people not even 1% can say they can achieve what you've achieved. So thank you so much. This is such a humbling experience for me to be able to chat to you. This is cool.
No, thank you, mate. I've always been a big fan. It's funny, like I actually grew up watching you fight. Like I remember just sitting in the lounge room with my old man and watch one of my earliest fights. I remember what you were watching was the Zambitas fights you had. Like they were hard fights. Like, and it's just hard
fights. Yeah.
I just remember like that's. But like a lot of people when I get interviewed and stuff, they're like, "Did you grow up watching any fighters?" And like I didn't pay a lot of like close attention to the UFC back in the day or anything like that. My earliest recollection of fights is yourself. So you played a nice role in my career.
Sorry, because we said bye, but now I'm going to make it awkward because I'm going to restart the conversation. Can you talk us through a couple of fights that because I'm also a fan. There's three people that I want to talk about if we could.
For sure.
Have you got a couple of minutes still?
For sure.
Yep. I won't say the names right. Orono.
Yes. Orono. Yes.
Yeah. Fairtex. I can't say his first name. Yodsanglai Fairtex. And Zambides. Can you just, starting on Orono, if you could?
Yeah.
You're not a fan of Orono, Dave?
Why'd you cut him off?
That's cool.
Yeah, yo.
Hello, can you hear us?
Sorry, we cut out for a second.
Yeah, for sure.
Orono, can you talk to us about him?
Yeah, Orono was my first A-class Thai. So he cut me 21 stitches, and he's a gentleman that I beat in front of 100,000 people a few years later for his world title. So yeah, he's a sad story. He's one of those guys that had way too many fights, and now he's so punchy. All he does is grunt. He can barely hold a conversation, and then the Thais tease him saying, "Oh, he's so punchy he can talk to a tree." Yeah, it's rough. It's actually sad.
Yeah,
He works in a
insane.
gym now, and he'll train people, but people don't really want to train with him because yeah, it's sad considering he was like that man for so many years, and now he's at the end of his career and he's got nothing. So
That's
it's
terrible.
a bit of a bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's reality. It's Thailand.
So when you've dealt with him, have you dealt with him since he's been
Oh,
punch drunk?
I've seen him. We've had a couple of chats, and I trained at the gym that he was teaching out of for 4 weeks back in 2010, and then yeah, he lucky to know who I am now. It's that sad. It's really crazy.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So, but luckily the camp owner feels sorry for him, so he just leaves him as a pad holder there, just so he's got a roof over his head. And after all the years of being a champion, this is the gym owner's way of just giving back, I guess, to say thank you for what you've done for the sport. So yeah, there's Thai style. There's no sympathy over here. Oh, over there, sorry.
That's hard.
And then
Yeah. It is, like you
so
said,
then
it's the rude reality.
yeah. And then Zambides, we fought 3 times. The first time was super controversial. It was the final of an 8-man. We both had 2 fights each, and he was the final. And then whoever won was going to get a contract for the K1 in Japan. And then I thought I won. It was his punches versus my knees. And then unfortunately, they gave him the points, which sucked. And so he got the contract. And then we ended up rematching. The second rematch was about maybe 6 or 7 years later. So for 7 or so years, I had this burden on my back that Zambides had beaten me. It was just eating at me even all those years later. And then we got the opportunity to rematch. And then the rematch, I beat him quite convincingly over 5 rounds. I think the scorecards were 45-50. And then the third fight was 1 each. And then the referee brought us together at the start of the fight to tell us the rules. And I remember he leaned right into my ear and goes, "Tonight, I kill you." I was like, yeah. It's like a movie. I was like, what the hell? And then the referee's like, "I touched gloves." I ain't touching these gloves. The dude just threatened my life. So I really wanted to destroy him. And then when the fight started, it just worked out perfect. And then I got to put a stamp on our trilogy. So knocking him out in the first. So that was really cool. But then about a week later, he accused me of bombing my hands. He said one of the photos, they reckon they could see that I'd plastered up my knuckles or something. And it's like, you're just trying to take away the shine on my win. Because I beat you, you got to looking for excuses. And it just sucked. And then Yotsenglai. So Yotsenglai, he was the current Lumpini champion at the time. I think he was only 19 or 20. And I was his very first fight overseas. He'd never been overseas before. And then the best part was we got the fight for the very first WBC World Muay Thai title in history. So we were the very first ones. And then, he knocked me down in the second. And then I ended up going on the points, and he beat me on points. And then, luckily, a few years later, we did the reality show. And we both got to the final, fought in front of 10,000 people in Singapore. That was amazing. That was just a buzz. He ended up knocking me down in the first, again in the second. Ended up going the distance. I fought really well, even though I got knocked down. It's one of those fights, even though I lost, it's still my favorite fight, just because I showed so much heart. I could have given up, but because I pushed forward, I'm really happy with my there were so many reasons I could have. And that was the fight that my dad had just got diagnosed with pancreas cancer. So it's like dealing with that, and then knowing that this is the last fight my dad's ever going to watch me fight. And then every time I got knocked down, I was like, "No, I've got to win this for Dad. I've got to get up." And then he was just spurred me the whole way through. And then so after the fight, it was because it was a reality show. They got this girl on TV, and I saved it on my phone. And Dad was in hospital, and I got to show him the fight before he passed. And he was super, super proud. Anyway, yeah. So it still gets me every time.
Fuck, got me, mate. Listen.
Yeah.
So sorry to hear that, man. Like,
yeah, but he after he passed, one of his best mates came up and tapped me on the shoulder, and he goes, "You know what? your dad wanted to see two things. He wanted to see you be really successful in a TV show, which he was, and then he wanted to see his little son, a grandson born. He was born just before he passed, so we got to take him to the hospital. He got to hold him once, so he got to do two of the things that he was holding out for, and then he passed not long after.
Fucking hell.
But yeah, crazy.
Yeah,
But at least I made him. At least I made him happy. At least I was there every day, and I held his hand all the way to his last breath. So I got to do that. So that's one thing. I wasn't going to let him go by himself. I had to be there.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's so hardcore, man. And you fought with that burden on your head when you fought.
Yeah, I can't imagine how hard that would have been.
Yeah. So because I was so I was so in the zone with Dad. And then when I flew to Singapore, it was my first time being by myself, but not just being able to think without all the other activities with the gym and family and everything else. And then I realized that my weight had got out of control. So we got to the Singapore a week before the fight to do filming and everything else beforehand. And I was still 10 kilos over. So my last session, I put on a tracksuit, a sweatsuit, a tracksuit. And then I opened the door to go for my run, and the rain was coming down sideways in torrential rain. I was like, shit, this sucks. So I forced myself to go and run. I did that 3 times. I had to put the sweatsuit on 3 times. I think that was the closest I've ever come to dying. I remember we did the weigh-in, I made the weight, and then as soon as I had a drink, whatever was in my dried out kidneys and liver, the toxins ran to my brain. And I remember for about 2 hours after eating, people would come up and talk to me, and I just felt green. I didn't feel healthy at all. And then to go out and put on a 5-round war was Yosinglay. Yeah, it was hard. It was a tough slog.
How much weight did you cut in the one day? And is that 24-hour weigh-in, the same as boxing and that?
Yeah, 24 hours. So I was lucky. I lost the 10 kilos in approximately 2 days. But it was hard. It was so rough. I never want to wish. And then since then, I went and seen a dietitian. I got my meal plans now all sorted out. Back then I thought I was a caveman. I was doing it Thai style. Eat to the last 3 days, and then stop eating and drinking and sweat. And then it just got to the stage. I was like, I'm too old for this crap. I got to work out a better way of doing this. Yeah. So that's when I decided to get. But yeah, that's when I started to get more on the ball and start 10 weeks out and do it slowly.
So you basically could feel your kidneys shutting down, kind of thing.
Oh yeah! Every time I stood up, I get those. Everything else on the floor.
Sorry, can you go back 1 sec, because it just cut out. I asked you if you felt your kidneys cutting out, and then it cut out.
Yeah, yes. You feel it in your back. Yeah, yes, and the idea of standing up and walking to the toilet is too much energy. So you just lay there as long as possible because you can't even walk. And then it's not a good place to be. But the funny thing is, so once you reach starving, you just stay starving. It doesn't get any worse. So you don't eat for 2 days, and once after about 6 hours you get starving, then you just stay there. So it's not like it gets crazy. You're just hungry. You just lip stick to your gums. you got nothing. You can't even. You blow dust. You try and spit, and dust comes out.
It's funny like that. It's funny like that, eh?
But thirst is different, eh?
Yeah. So once you get thirsty, nothing else matters. Nothing else.
Nothing else matters. Nothing. All you do is dream about crushed ice. Just it's so good. Crushed ice is amazing. I mean,
watermelon. Mine's watermelon.
Yeah, watermelon's the best.
Ooh.
Because you still get thirstier, but you don't get hungrier, eh? Is that?
And we're lucky too. In my Thai as well, we're still allowed to use IVs. So we'll get 2 1 liter bags of nutrients and straight through the IV, and then you replenish straight away too. So that helps a lot to get back to normal the next day.
Fuck, especially when you're that gone. That gone.
Yeah.
All right, we'll say goodbye again for a second time. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thanks for sharing everything, for your honesty and everything. And it's been
a huge honor. I've loved hearing all your stories, mate. And I know my dad has too.
Shout out to Jack Whittaker.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
Oh yeah. Also, Rob's Muay Thai trainer, who's a good friend of mine, huge fan of yours. Charlie Bashwadi loves you. Just wanted to say hi through us. He's going into surgery today for a hernia, so he's a massive fan. So, actually,
Yeah,
can you
that's
give him
awesome.
a shout out? Can you shout out Charlie? Because he's a massive fan.
Charlie, you. Yeah.
And we'll try and organise a fight camp or something at the
Yeah,
end, towards the end
we'll
of the
head
year.
up
Yeah.
after
Yeah.
you finish your fight. We'll come up and you can teach me some stuff.
That's awesome. Oh, I can't wait. That's gonna be so cool. Bring your shoes. My run is amazing. Do you like running?
Yeah, not really.
We run. He doesn't like it, but we do run. Yeah.
So I live in Burleigh Headland. So we run around the headland, and then as you're running, you see the surfers, and you see it's amazing. It'll blow your mind.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I've been to Burleigh Heads before.